Okay, well, this arrived today. I'm assuming what it is, though I haven't ordered anything from shop2.net other than what I expect this to be. So it's a day early. So let's get it out of the jiffy bag. If it is what I think it is, a jiffy bag. Not quite what I would have put it in myself, but there we go. Right, there we go. We have a steelbook, the WipEout Omega Collection, which is separate, and that's weird, but there we go. A lot of video games have been doing that for the last several years, actually. It's not quite the same as it is in the Blu-ray market. That's rather a nice cover. Of course, we've all seen pictures of it previously. WipEout Omega Collection on the side, and WipEout logo on the back, and the internal is rather nice. And being as it was bought from shop2.net, we've also got the game itself inside the classic sleeve, which is rather nice. It's supposed to be reminiscent of the PlayStation 1 and the original WipEout. Collection design. Very original early WipEout design at the back. And the normal packaging, the chromed silver lines. Okay. That's in the back. Okay. There's 26 tracks, 46 ships, 9 modes from WipEout HD Fury and WipEout 2048. All new electro soundtrack, which is kind of a shame. I dare say there'll be an awful lot of cold storage being played when I'm playing it. There we go. I'll open that up. Default controls, no? So I think we can find nothing in there. Okay. And the game itself. Of course on a Blu-ray disc. I think the first thing I'm going to do is, let's see, will the steelbook go inside the plastic cover? Oh, it's tight, but it works. I don't think I'll keep it like that, to be fair. It really does. Quite cool. I'm going to get one of my steelbook protectors around that, I think. And so for that, cleaned off some of the fingerprints. Right. Okay, so here's all three packaging variants, as it were, for the British market. These, I think, are all available across Europe. I don't think they're available outside of Europe. So sorry to those in America and Japan and the other territories. While we're here, let's have a little bit of time travel. We'll have a look at the packaging from the previous games on the PlayStation primarily. Of course, the immediate predecessor to WipEout Omega Collection is WipEout 2048 on the PlayStation Vita, which of course was on a Vita card as well as a download. There we go. Then we had WipEout HD Fury. Now, of course, WipEout HD was originally released as digital only, but here in Europe, in the UK especially, we got this, which is a physical version of WipEout HD and the Fury add-on. There we go. Which is always, I always prefer physical to digital, so I was a little bit annoyed that I bought it on digital only for it to be released as a physical release, but there we go. Prior to that, there was WipEout Pulse on PSP. Okay. two copies of WipEout Pure. One is the European one and one the American one there. Obviously the packaging is quite different on those two. Even the disc has different artwork on it. Yeah. Prior to that, there was WipEout Fusion on the PS2. It's also worth bearing in mind that WipEout Pulse came out on the PS2 as well, but I've not been able to get my hands on a copy of that yet. It's very hard to get hold of, and I believe another European exclusive. WipEout Fusion. There we are, $39.99. Guess where I was working at the time. Okay. Prior to that, again, this is a European exclusive as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure it is available here in the UK. WipEout 3 Special Edition, which basically included some of the tracks from WipEout 2097 and the original WipEout, all remixed for the Special Edition. And yeah, you even had WipEout 3 Japanese Edition prototype tracks as well. So it's rather nice to own that. And then bizarrely, I have two copies of WipEout 3. Looks exactly the same, except for the lack of hologram on the front of that one. That's because that one is in fact promo copy. Full game, just promo edition. Because again, I was working in video games retail at the time, so I got the promo. And then the full retail version. WipEout 3, yeah. Now this is a bit of a weird one. WipEout 2097 came out in 1996. It was a bit later, but this came out. What this is WipEout 2097. Yes, it's signed by Cold Storage, by Tim Wright. Notice on that, Amiga PowerPC 3D. There we go. CD-ROM for PowerPC Amigas. So you needed to spend quite a lot of money to upgrade an A1200 and A4000 to be able to play this. And it's basically a conversion of the PC version that was also out on the Mac, with the music from that rather than the music from the PlayStation edition. But it actually could be played in a higher resolution than the PC version, because it was significantly later. And you can actually play it in a window on Workbench, which is the Amiga's user interface system. Like when you got Windows on the PC, Workbench was Amiga's version of Windows, essentially. There we have the British European edition of WipEout 2097. Here it is with the old Elspeth logo on the back for the age rating, before we even got to the point where we were having age ratings on the front. Actually, I think it was WipEout Fusion that had the first one on the front from Elspeth, and then it would be WipEout Pure, which was the first one with a PEGI rating on the front. There we go. Now, those of you from America are currently looking at our games and going, "Why are your boxes so big?" That's because the manuals are thicker, because you have to get all the European languages in there. There we go. Disc artwork for that one. WipEout 2097, which is arguably the best of the series. Depends on who you ask. I prefer WipEout HD myself, but there we go. And then the original UK release of the original WipEout. There we go. The incredibly thick manual. There we go. I will be taking some photos of these so you get a higher resolution image. You can have a look on those on the Geekology Flickr account. Now you probably realise that, of course, WipEout Omega Collection is a combination of WipEout HD and WipEout Fury, Fury was the add-on for WipEout HD, and WipEout 2048 from the Vita. It's interesting, when you played the Vita version and you had the digital version of WipEout HD Fury, it would unlock the HD Fury tracks on the Vita version as well. One of the most annoying things about this is that for some reason you couldn't play it on PlayStation Vita TV. Really annoying, because you could emulate the stuff that was in the way on the controller. So quite why that was done, I don't know. Massive shame, but at least now we have the opportunity to play the content of that on the big screen thanks to the PlayStation 4 conversion. Of course, if you've got PlayStation 4 Pro, you'll find yourself being able to play this in 4K. From what I've been told, I've found out, is that you can play it in 4K native if you turn the motion blur off, and it goes into checkerboard if you play it with the motion blur on. Not something I can find out for myself, because I've only got a basic PlayStation 4. But considering the amount of content in here, the fact that this is retailing for between £25 and £30 makes it a hell of a bargain. Now, WipEout HD Fury actually on the PlayStation 3 was in 1080p and actually ran at 60 frames a second sometimes. It did slow down on occasion when there was too much going on the screen, but that does mean that WipEout Omega Collection does run at 1080p, 60 frames a second pretty solidly, from what I understand. We'll soon find that out. Okay, so comparing the packaging there, obviously they've some influences from both going on there. So the other thing to look at is let's pop the classic sleeve over the game. Get a bit more robustness. There we go. Compare that with the original PlayStation game. You see what they're going for. Now, for those of you from the other parts of the world, may not have the same kind of attachment to WipEout as British players might do, in a way, because one, it's a British game. Two, it was done by Psygnosis, who were proliferant on both the Amiga and formats such as the Atari ST, Commodore 64 and so on and so forth. And it was a launch game for PlayStation 1 in the UK. So it got an awful lot of publicity going, and it was basically what sold the PlayStation, the original PlayStation, the PlayStation 1 as we call it now, in the UK. So there we are. Obvious parallels there. But I'll come back with some game footage and we'll have a play.